Eric. Well, that was a very lovely exit, I think. I think that was a really great note to leave off on. This is awkward.
Boom. Back.
Oh, that was sus. I'm gonna take out the dancing clip and put it in as a blooper. Okay.
There ain't boom. I don't know what happened. All right.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes all I think about is you. Welcome to the Purple Couch, everyone. Sorry, we had to kind of start off with a little bit of singing right there.
I'm gonna say, what an intro there, huh?
Might
have to try out for America's Got Talent or something.
Right.
Or go on The Voice.
Thank you. I love that song, Loki. But welcome to the couch, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I don't really have too much for announcements. Just follow us on social medias. Hope school's going really well for you guys. Join the Herren Club. Really vibe on, vibe out, all that good stuff. Take care of yourself. Practice self-love. Again, thank you for joining us tonight. Eric. So it's October 1st. And here is something that I want to talk about. Last month was National Suicide Prevention Month. Last month was also National Recovery Month. And this month is also National Bullying Prevention Month. So these are busy months. But these are also months and times where we should be talking about these topics because they're really important and they are on the national calendar for a reason. Because suicide is prevalent, bullying is prevalent, and recovery is something we should celebrate, and we should raise awareness on substance use disorder. And in some ways, a lot of those things intertwine, because at the end of the day, positive atmospheres and environments really all, it all goes together at the end of the day. So I think this is something that I would like to talk about tonight on maybe how our audience can benefit from using these times and every day after as a time to raise awareness, educate, and what they can do as an individual impact to prevent bullying, prevent suicide, encourage recovery, and prevent substance use.
Yeah, I think what comes to mind intertwining all of those is not, and this is something that I speak on, when I go out and I give my presentations, but having the courage, not being afraid if you see something, right? If you see someone being bullied, or if you see somebody, using substances, or you notice that maybe on the subject of, suicide, if you notice something with somebody, to speak up, right? And to have the courage to say something to a trusted adult, to someone that you believe could maybe help that person through what they're going through, right? I think that's, when we talk about these topics, suicide, substance misuse, bullying, not to say, obviously we have to talk about, what's going on and the choices that people are making and what they're going through. But I think also a big light should be shined on those around them that can help them, right? I think that's a big thing, is those people around them that can help them, that can do those little things, as I said, of seeing something, saying something to somebody, right? Which can make a big difference. I mean, there are plenty of stories out there where you hear somebody saw something, they said something to somebody, and it helped to save someone's life. It helped them, not to not maybe go down that road any further, to help them stop making those choices. So that was the first thing that just came to mind when you said that, was you see something, you notice something, say something to somebody.
Yeah. And I think with that being said, these are all really touchy and sensitive topics. But it's something we need to talk about because it's something that's really prevalent in our communities, whether we want to face it or not. And I think it's really important to shine a light on individual impact, because I feel like sometimes individual impact can be undermined. And I'm not a fan of that, because there's little things that we do that you just might make someone's day, or they just might go home and really contemplate if they want to end their life, if they want to take that pill, or if they want to completely cut everyone off and never have contact again. There's always that one thing that can really, really make a difference. And sometimes I think people forget that. You have the power on on an everyday basis to do that. And I think it's really important when it comes to things like these that you have kind of a plan in mind. And I don't mean a plan, but like I mean like you have action steps. Like one, identify someone in the school or your community or in your environment that you trust and that you can talk to about these issues and that you know will help you, and that you also know that won't put anyone in a bad situation where it could end up escalating.
Yeah.
Two, ensure that you have access to self-help resources, so suicide prevention lines, other lifelines, resources for help in your community, contacts that you can give someone if they really need to talk to someone, something of that sorts. Three, support, ensuring that you are supporting the individual who is being harmed or harming themselves. Um, and that's really important. And that sometimes can be really hard to do. And sometimes we might need to separate ourselves and step back and be like, look, here's X, Y, and Z. I want you to be healthy. I want you to be happy. And I want you here. And I really care about you. But blank. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just doing the best you can to support that individual through the time that they're going through.
Yeah.
And then four, practice self-care, because things like these can be really hard to take on if you see something or if you have to help someone. And at the end of the day, like, you also matter and you also need to take care of yourself and sometimes have to separate yourself from those moments.
Yeah. And I think too, to add to that, when
Yeah.
you were talking about, you can make a difference. You never know, right? A lot of times I think people think that they have to make this astronomical difference. They have to do this humongous thing. But at the end of the day, it can just be walking up to somebody and saying, "Hey, how's your day going? How are you?"
Literally.
Talking to them, acknowledging them, giving
Inviting
them.
them over.
What's that?
I said inviting them over.
Yeah. Something that's not that hard to do. That's not that big. That doesn't take hours on end, or it's just showing kindness, right?
Yes.
Little things like that can go such a long way. It's true. Like a little thing, like just saying, "Hey, how are you? How's everything going? How are you feeling?" Or just going over, giving someone a hug, being nice to somebody, acknowledging somebody. Or if you see somebody when you're at school in the cafeteria, sitting next to them, maybe no one's sitting with, just little things like that go such a long way and make such a difference. And you won't. And here's the thing too, is that you may never know how you affected them, right? They may never come up to you and say, "You helped me so much."
Yeah.
But you doing those type of things are going to help them. Like,
Whether you know
will
it.
help them. Whether they tell you, they acknowledge you, that you help them or not, they do. They do matter and they do affect them for sure.
The small things matter, because I can say, I invited someone over to be my lab partner, and afterwards they confronted me and they were like, "You don't know how much it meant to me for you to simply invite me over to be your lab partner." And I was like, my heart, like, I'm really happy that you feel that way and that you
Right?
really appreciated that gesture. And not everyone's going to tell you that, but at the same time, it never hurt anyone and it doesn't cost a dime to be nice.
No.
It doesn't cost you anything. And again, some days we have more energy than others, and that's okay to recognize that. But I have a license plate frame on the back of my car that says kindness matters. So if someone cuts me off or if someone does something, the first thing they see is kindness matters. Because
I
it's
love it.
because it's really, really important to me that you practice kindness on a daily basis. Whether that's letting someone out of a side street, whether that is, walking with someone to their class, whether that's asking someone, "Hey, how are you? Like, how are you really?" Whether that's texting someone to check in on them because you knew they were having a bad day, or something of that sort. Or sending them a meme, sending them a TikTok because you thought of them when you saw
Yeah.
the TikTok. That's all really important. And it's things that people, whether you think or not, really actually do enjoy and appreciate. And I think the main consensus here is that individual impact can last a lifetime. Some people will say that and be like, well, if you did X, Y, and Z, that's not going to make a difference. We'd have to have everyone do that. So start recruiting people to be kind. I knew back in high school there was a kindness club. It's possible.
Really?
Yes. They
Wow,
would do little things throughout the school, and it was the cutest thing ever. And sometimes that's how you begin to prevent bullying. That's how you begin to prevent suicide, is just being a friend and being someone that someone can rely on, being someone that, feels supported by you, feeling someone who they know that if they had to choose anyone in the school to ensure that maybe that they would get a good compliment or that they would be helpful because you're kind. You know what I mean? Like I think that's really important. I've had so many people who are like, Izzy, like I really thank you so much for letting me talk to you. Thank you so much for, X, Y, and Z. And again, you're not gonna get that on a daily basis. You might get it 10 years from now when they're like, you really helped me back in high school. But again, sometimes we have to do things and never expect a reward from it.
Yeah. Well, but see, here's for me, right? For me, I don't know how you feel about this, but when I do something kind, I'm not looking for a reward, but talking for a sec about the person who's doing the kind act. It always just feels good
And
to
that's the reward at the end of the day, is you feel good.
Yes. So that is the reward. I'm not looking for any possession or anything, someone to give some. I'm not even looking
Or even a
for
verbal
them.
reward.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even looking for them to come up and say something to me a few days later. It's just, it feels good to actually do something like that. It makes me feel good, right? It almost energizes me. It keeps me alive to just be kind to people.
But you want to know what? Going back to Herren Project's motto with "Be You," that's how we can encourage people to be themselves. Is being kind to them, letting them know that no, like don't stop saying sorry because you're talking too much. Stop saying sorry because you wanted to show me your art. Stop this because you made a funny joke. Like stop saying sorry and stop, because at the end of the day, when you do things like that and you really allow people to embrace themselves, you're allowing people to be themselves around you, and they know that you are a safe space to be able to do that, and that there is some kind of area in their life where they have someone who they can be themselves with unapologetically, with compassion, with care, with love, you know what I mean, like all of that. And I think at the end of the day, that should be the main rule here, is I want to be kind, and I want to be that kind person because I want people to be themselves. I want people to embrace themselves. I don't want people to feel like they have to alter themselves because the world around them and that they feel is cold to them. Because at the end of the day, that's how we can really prevent. I mean, obviously there's other things, but as a starting factor for each individual, being supportive, being kind, being loving, being open, and embracing each other can really be the starting to helping prevent those.
Yeah, just
Preventable things.
accepting people for who they really are, and
not looking to change them.
you stole my words. I was just about to say.
Boom.
But yeah, no, you're right. Just accepting them for who they are and not wanting them to change. To just know that if they can be themselves, that makes them happy, right?
Yeah, I agree. So at the end of the day, be kind. Love the universe. Love yourself.
It just, if think about this, right? Seriously, if everyone was to say one kind thing to someone a day, everyone in this universe, imagine how much
people's mental health would skyrocket.
Right? Imagine how much effect that would have. Seriously, just walking by a stranger on the street, and you're saying, "Oh, I love your shirt. It looks awesome on you." That didn't take much. That was kind. That might have made their day. They might come home and be like, "Mom, someone loved my shirt."
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the little things in life at the end of the day. It really is. Obviously, there's so many different things as to why suicide happens, as to why bullying happens, as to why substance use happens. But we can't change everyone, but we can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. And that help and that support could be being kind, could be being the support for that friend, could be allowing them to be themselves. Because sometimes that's what that one person makes that person stay on this earth. Again, at the end of the day, the one little thing that you could do for someone could be the one thing that makes them stay on this earth.
Yeah. And you may not even know it. You may not know the impact, but just know that those small things, the small acts of kindness, in your mind may be small, but may be large, humongous to other people. Because you never know what people are going through, what they're struggling with, what's going on in their life. So
you never know.
Yeah.
And leverage and put a light on your individual impact, because it matters for anything you do. Everything in life, you can make a change, even if it's one small thing.
What's a change?
But don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
No matter how big it is, it's still a change.
It is.
So
you're still making an impact. So thank you for taking on this little bit of a heavier topic today with us. And if you have any questions, or if you need any resources, or if you have something to add to the conversation, please leave it below. So thank you, everyone. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Awesome. Bye. Boom.